Verse 16, Joseph answered Pharaoh, it's not me, it's not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer. He understands who anoints him. His spirit's ready. See, sometimes you're not ready for what you prayed for. You praying for a husband. No, you act like you don't want to be married. You praying for God to bless you financially and you can't manage $10. See, this is not the pathway. You students, you're showing God right now by the way you manage your work. Late on papers, last minute, that's how you're going to be on your job. You're not going to be successful if you don't learn how to bring this together now. There's something powerful happening in your life. Joseph is an example of a guy who, when the opportunity came, he was always ready. He was ready when he got to prison. He left Potiphar's house in chains, going to prison, unfairly accused. And when he got there, these two guys had a dream and he interpreted it for them. Ready. He could have been so depressed because I won't ask him about no dumb dream. I'm depressed. See, but that was his opportunity. Right there. He didn't know it. 2 years later, he would see it. But thank God he had to get above it attitude. Don't you whine and complain. You don't know what people are thinking. Learn to say, thank God I went through that. Move on. Here you are coming out of a bad marriage and you go to your job kicking the table. Oh, dumb man. That could be your husband's chair you kicking over. That could be your future husband. He said, oh, Lord. Don't want her. You don't want to take that approach in life. You want to get above it. Tell your neighbor, say, get above it. No, say it like you mean. Come on, say, get above it. Say it again. Come on, say, get above it. You have to learn how to get above that thing. You can't let yourself be robbed. This was a guy who was ready. He told Pharaoh, he said, listen, you had a dream, 7 skinny cows, 7 fat cows. The 7 fat cows are symbols of 7 years of prosperity. 7 skinny cows are a symbol of 7 years of famine. The 7 years of famine are going to be so great, they're going to consume the 7 fat cows, which means you won't even remember you were prosperous. He said, what you want to do, notice, here's a guy who knows how to manage a problem. Who cares that you had a problem? Can you manage your problem? That's what you need to be able to do. Can I grab a hold of this thing and work it out? Can I wrestle it down to the ground? Yes, I'm broke, but I know how to manage broke. I've been broke before. Come on, are you hearing me? Manage your problem. He says what you ought to do is save some money during the good years. And when the bad years come, you'll be ready for it. And he said divide it up and put it in different regions so that when you have a problem over here, you'll have distribution centers set up. They said, what a genius. What a genius. You are the man. They hire him right on the spot. I'm telling you, God can fix what men can't fix. God can fix it. He is promoted. He is given back everything. And then after he's promoted, after Pharaoh, here's what he has to say in verse 37. The Bible said the advice was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servants, can we find such a man, such a one as this, a man in whom is the Spirit of God? Notice, hear this. Notice that they defined him having the Spirit of God because he was living smart. He was smart. He knew how to live life. People aren't impressed with your spiritual walk because you carry a Bible and because you shout or go to church. They care about how you manage your life. Can you manage problems? That shows them God's in you. This guy managed his life, stood up, and then they made him king. They made him second in command. Verse 39, Pharaoh said to Joseph, inasmuch as God has shown you all this, there is no one as discerning and wise as you. Verse 40, you shall be over my house. All my people shall be ruled according to your word. Only in regard to the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. Verse 42, then Pharaoh took his signet ring off his hand and put it on Joseph's hand. And he clothed him in garments of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. And he had him ride in the second chariot, which he had, and cried out before him, bow the knee. Now, here was a guy who came in as a slave, but now when he goes down the street, they have to bow the knee. Let me tell you something. God can fix your life. God can turn your life around. A bad dream can turn into a good dream. Things that have gone wrong can go right. So I want you to leave this church today, and I want you to say, I know now how to respond to a dream that's gone bad.